Oh my god, I literally just clicked start record. How did you know? I literally just sat down, clicked the record on everything so I can start recording a video. And as soon as that happens, no calls for the past hour. As soon as I click record on everything, you call. Oh, my name's Fox, and that's the name of Fox. Gojira. You sure you got Ghidorah in there? Yeah, I got Ghidorah, Mothra, Godzilla, and Kong. Well, the Optimus Primal, but close enough. God. Okay, so episode 4 of Monarch Legacy. Which funny thing is, like, I've been on, like, ever since the last episode, I'm like, shit, I've kind of been on the Godzilla kick a little bit. I rewatched Godzilla vs. Kong. I found out, like, they just released, you know, I saw Godzilla Minus, like, a day or two ago. Or was it yesterday? 2 days ago. I saw Godzilla Minus 2 days ago. It's in theaters now. Go watch it. And I've been, and also I got in a whole little argument against a guy, which it's funny enough because it would be so great if he didn't block me on Twitter, because he got in an argument about, like, who's a stronger Godzilla, and I said, like, there's three strong, the three strongest Godzillas, from my point of view, the three strongest Godzillas are Godzilla Earth. He's a giant, massive tree monster that lives thousands of years and, you know, has a massive power and strength. So, yeah. And you find an interdimensional Ghidorah. Monsterverse, a kaiju that Godzilla who can literally absorb the energy from other Godzillas when he gets hit with their atomic breath to then evolve and grow stronger and bigger. I'm going to go ahead and say he's probably the second strongest. And not to mention he's bigger, taller, and then Shin Godzilla, who has the potential to become godlike. I think him and Monsterverse both have the potential to become godlike. But also, like, anyways. So I've been on a Godzilla kick for a minute. Which, I'll bring up some stuff about Monsterverse in a minute. But, pretty much this episode is the next one, which I was excited for because last episode we saw these guys get stranded in the Arctic. No, it was in Alaska. In Alaska. What is it? Wait, what's happening here?
The monsters. The legendary Twitter account posted this Monarch activation dossier, which shows that he has a sister named Stephanie. Barnes here seems to be the only scientist at this remote.
I didn't catch that. That's actually cool. I see it. Oh, this video is from Think Story. But pretty much she gets some weird readings on this thing, which she then contacts Monarch, and but while that's also going on,
run by this military.
Our guys are all stuck out here with this I think it's the Arctic Varg, I think it was called, which I kind of guessed what was kind of its ability when last time. Like, we find out later on when they're attacked when they create a fire, that this thing eats heat, which makes sense, especially when you learn more about, like, science and shit. That, like, the idea that, quote-unquote, there's no such thing as cold, there is only lack of heat. Which, all I think is, like, bullshit. Like, I say that not in the sense of, like, not that I don't believe the science of it, but it's also the kind of idea where people say, like, you can't feel, humans can't feel the sensation of being wet. And I'm like, no, we can. When we put our finger in water, it feels like, no, that's temperature or whatever. That's not the feeling of wetness. No. You don't understand. See, we came up with the word wet as a determination of when we felt that cold, wet stuff and all that stuff. Whatever the hell anything feels of the water is a different kind of feeling, and it's called something completely different because what we call wet is this. But beside the point. Frostvark, that's it. The Frostvark eats heat, and by doing that, obviously freezes everything around it that has heat. Which, it is pretty funny, like, they get chased by the Frostvark. Kantaro, I believe his name is. He tried to shoot, like, a flare into the monster's mouth. Didn't work, completely missed. And you do see the Frostvark, like, look at the flare, that way kind of hinting at that he's coming to consume heat. And pretty much the group is trying to find. Also, there's a whole backstory of like how he met May and like how he was an artist, but I guess it fell through and all this other stuff.
I think it's pretty interesting.
He made this because of his dad. I guess trying to find his dad's face and other people.
That his work centers around challenging our assumptions about identity. Pretty ironic, since his own identity is called into question after finding out his father had a secret second family. Kentaro
and also that there's a whole tie thing with his dad. Yeah, but as he meets May, how May first met, and like they fall, how they slowly kind of fell in with each other. Also, May, when they're being chased by the Frostmark, falls in some ice and just freezes her leg, gets wet and cold. I'm like, by God, because here's the thing, I hate the cold. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. I moved back here to Chicago. It's starting to get cold outside. I'm kind of feeling depressed because even though I had a shit ton of problems in Texas from like family issues and all that shit, one thing that I loved in Texas and the one reason I kind of wanted to stay was because of the weather. Like shit. Like right now it's probably like 30 degrees or less outside right now. No, it's more because it's raining. Probably like 40, like maybe like above 30 degrees. And I just think of like the nice, warm, long roads of Texas. God, oh my God. But beside that, like, I hate the cold. Which, mind you, I'm watching this, I'm like, I don't believe for a goddamn second. Like, this isn't against these too much, because I also don't want to see these actors freeze. But for some points where, like, characters just have their faces shown and everything, I'm like, I don't believe they're on the cold. Some of them do. Like, Kantaro, I believe his name is, he eventually kind of does look, like he's freezing. But, pretty much, yeah, pulsar radiation, yeah. Pretty much the team, when they get out and they get chased and this girl gets her legs frost, it kind of sets the timer like, oh shit, we need to find civilization quick before we die, and she dies of frostbite. So, and Kantaro pretty much says, hey, I saw this golf ball thing. Let's go to that. Let's go to that golf ball thing. And they're like, we don't know where that is, and you might have just been seeing shit. And so the team breaks up. Kantaro goes to find the golf ball thing, while these guys follow a blue light off in the distance, which, I don't know, maybe it's just because I've been into the Monsterverse and all this stuff, but then again, maybe she should have figured this out. I'm just want to say right now, if you see an eerie blue glowing light, and you're not looking for a Titan, you might want to go the other direction. Like I'm just thinking, like, I'm gonna guess maybe Godzilla just taking like he sensed like, oh shit, there's a giant Frostmark out here. Hell, we see that this Frostmark has glowing blue tendril thingies. And later on, we do find out later, because these guys still head towards that. And also, what is it? This guy actually says that apparently Titans can change the surrounding or make it weird, which I'm like, that kind of makes sense, because it is the whole idea that, like, the nature kind of heals itself wherever a Titan goes. Which, I guess, speaking of Frostmark, living in cold areas. Yeah, I first thought, like, maybe it goes into hibernation, which it might still go to hibernation when there isn't heat for it to eat. But then also think about it, if Titans are all supposed to be ways to balance out the planet and heal it, maybe the whole idea with the Frostmark is to keep cold areas cold. Like, that's the whole idea. It eats all, it consumes light. So even when there's, global warming happening, Alaska, Antarctic, wherever the hell, will all stay cold because of Frostmarks and stuff like that consuming the ice or consuming the heat. Which we do find out later on, because when, I keep saying it's Konoshiro, I think it's right. When he goes to the golf ball, let's see, what is her hiding? When he goes to the golf ball, he finds out it's a radio tower, finds his dad's shaving clips there, like, oh shit, dad was here. And he is able to, he proves like, oh shit, and he's able to call for backup pretty much. While that's all going on, there's a whole thing of him avoiding his big art thing. Apparently he sold a few pieces, but not enough to where he got dropped. He says that he did this also he can make his dad and everyone proud and all this stuff. it's nice. And then there's the whole thing with May, but he's able to call for help, which is very grateful because if these guys get attacked by the Frostvark, they're gonna try to blow up like fire so that the Frostvark consumes that heat, and then they just make a run for it to the big blue light, which is a good thing they didn't.
Advantage to make their escape, but what?
Which also, it is funny seeing Kurt Russell get blown back. Like, oh shit! Which also, I didn't know that was Kurt Russell's son, who was the U.S. agent / whatever, his younger version. I'm like, okay, that's cool. But and I'm like, that's why they kind of look similar. But also on the flip side of that, I'm trying to think. Although that, yes, if I'm remembering this right, yes, the guy from Kong who ran Monarch, the big dude who was in the beginning of the first episode and all that stuff. Yes, that is the guy with the camera. That is, that's the cryptid zoologist guy. That is him. So that means he's also the grandfather of these guys, I believe. Is that right? Yes, because that would make him his son. So yeah, he's the grandfather of these guys. Of these two. So I'm like, okay. And also, like, someone brought up that, like, Kurt Russell here is pretty much, like, they said, like, shouldn't you be, like, over 70 years old? He's like, yeah, just good genes. Which, now I'm thinking about, like, he kind of just blew it off. Which I first thought, oh, it's a joke. But then thinking about it now, it's like, that was probably something. Like, he's probably, like, maybe if you hang around kaijus long enough, you can kind of become immortal, in a way. I'm guessing that's kind of the case. Which wouldn't, again, the idea that they're always healing the earth, I wouldn't surprise if that's the case. And also, like I said, like, Hinshiro's right. The orb was like somewhere where you could call for help, and yeah, it was correct. And when they head over the ridge and they see what the blue thing is,
Frostvark is attracted to heat.
You see this blue here, but like you see something that looks almost as big out in the frost, and I'm just thinking like, okay, so I'm guessing there's a giant Frostvark out there. I'm guessing that's the case. Because it's just so happens to be also the color blue, because it seems to be like a Titan thing of having the blue energy, which, mind you, is he here? Let's see if this guy talks about it real quick.
On us humans. Barnes tells us that the readings she's picked up are common from
that thing that she was reading at the beginning.
From pulsars originating from black holes in outer space. The pulses she's picking up, however, are coming from Earth, specifically Alaska. Could this then mean
this thing
that this swirling light we see emanating from below is the cause of these readings? A pulsar emits electromagnetic radiation, and we know that Titans are attracted to radiation, so there seems to be a link here. Readings of this kind haven't been seen since Janjira and Yucca Flats. Janjira was where the nuclear power
I didn't know I could just hold down and click.
Muto fed off in 2014's
so this was what they were seeing, which, yeah, they would have went there, they would have died. So, good Kantaro, I think it was. Shit. But, so there's something down there. I'm guessing it's a giant Frostvark. That would be my guess. But also, I don't entirely know. It could be something like that, and that it's absorbing the heat that's, would have frozen that place. I'd imagine that's the case. I have no idea. But, that being said, I'm trying to think. But yeah, so absorbs, blue energy, pulsar stuff, which, again, they say like pulsar is something that comes from a black hole, which just reminds me of what I now know. I learned two cool things about Godzilla. One, when he grabs the Muto and does the atomic breath down his throat, that's called the kiss of death, his kiss of death. And I'm like, I love that. I love that so much. On the flip note of that, I also learned that apparently in the Godzilla vs. Kong book, there's an Iwi legend that talks about Godzilla, and talks about how supposedly there was a Godzilla, most likely this one, who ate a star. The hell? Ate a star, and then whenever he opens his mouth, he releases beams of that star. So, and the thing is, stars are made of, and obviously here it talks about like radioactive stuff from a black hole, but stars are nuclear reactors out in the space, pretty much. They're thermonuclear reactions. So Godzilla pretty much has a star inside him, which makes sense, which, again, there was a whole little argument I had with someone, And, they're trying to say, like, oh, Heisei Godzilla's the strongest because in his burning form, he would have been supernova and blown up stuff. And I'm like, this guy's power is said to be equal to a star, which a star explodes and creates galaxies. Then suddenly he got a little pissed and blocked me. But yeah, it's just like, yeah, that this kind of ties in more with like Godzilla, like the whole thing. Like it seems like the thermonuclear reactor stuff is like that ancient power, that is a power that's kind of being pumped out of these guys. But God, and like they tie it again, like he said, like they tie it to like the Mutos back when this happened before G-Day. So there's a whole here's the. Also, this guy was having like visions or dreams while he's slowly dying. But this was the glass orb, but or the golf ball. Also, all of the notes got burned away when they tried to warm up May's legs, as well as the computer that had all the data on it got completely burned, got completely frosted when the frostwork ate the heat off of it. And now we're in with these two, which these guys pretty much cap it off like, we need to talk pretty much. And then it ends. I don't want to see this because I don't want to see what the hell that's happening. I already read what's going to happen next. Kind of. I read like, it's like, oh yeah, they're going to go to San Francisco. It's like, damn it. I shouldn't have read that because it would have been cool just to see like, oh shit. But yeah, these guys are, see, this got messed up. But where's Hiroshi? No goddamn idea. But we do know that he was at that base and most likely called for help and flew somewhere. Where he's at, we still have no idea. I'm sure we're not going to know until the very end. There's obviously something going on down. There's obviously something.
A pulsar emits electromagnetic radiation, and we know that Titans are attracted to radiation, so there seems to be a link here. Readings of this kind haven't been seen since specifically Alaska. Could this then mean that
whatever's down here, I'm guessing gonna be big, because that's the thing about like a lot of these MonsterVerse stories, at least as far as I've seen, there is kind of a formula, but then again, I could be wrong because I don't know how the hell they're gonna get back to here unless there's gonna be something else later on. But as far as I can kind of guess, like a lot of things, what they do is each story revolves usually around, and mind you, like I don't know if this will ruin anyone's take on it or whatever. Each story, each MonsterVerse story so far kind of always revolves around a mystery of a certain powerful kaiju that is hidden, and then, or Titan, that is hidden, and then as the story progresses, we slowly learn a little bit more, until eventually that kaiju explodes out, and then Godzilla has to face it and put it down. That being said, though, I guess King of the Monsters actually didn't do that because King of the Monsters, Ghidorah eventually came out pretty early, I think. So whatever is down, it might come out earlier. And the thing is, like because that's the thing too, it is introducing a few different kaijus or titans, but I'm trying to wonder like because like we have the flying devil thing in like episode 2. We have that one. We have obviously Godzilla that's popping up every so often, but we have the Frostvark, which it's like, are we gonna do something about that? Maybe obviously have something that's under here, which it wouldn't surprise you if that is another Frostvark, like just a big one. But I don't know, because yeah, like even the Kong series kind of did something like that, where it's the mystery was the Leviathan or the Kraken, or whatever which one it was called. But I want to know I wonder what this one's gonna be, or how that's gonna lead into it. Also, how they're gonna why they're going to San Francisco in the next one, because apparently they're going to San Francisco, and this girl, it's gonna be like her see from this girl's point of view, I guess, of G-Day when Godzilla came up. Which hell yeah. Which also I have this game where I don't know what the hell the title is. I just know there's a little caption here in English that says, "This is not the story of some hero. This is your story." Japanese words. all I know is Godzilla's in it, Evangelion, Gamera, which is called now because I know who Gamera is, as well as I believe a Gundam and Ultraman. So, and I think you play as humans trying. It looks like Mothra was here too. Humans trying to escape the city. I think I don't know. All I know that's Evangelion right there. But like, I don't know. But it's a game I've had for years. I bought it because I heard about it. I think I'm probably gonna stream this at some point for Japan only. Whoops. I'm gonna stream this at some point because yes, I want to. I hope there's a English translation one. You know, like how they video games have the different translated. Would you want to play in English, Japanese, this, that? I hope there's an English collecting thing here, and if not, But if not, I'm gonna be like, well, it says press triangle. What does triangle? Like, this will be the game where, like, you know, if you ever played a game and like they're like, look up and press the up analog stick to look up and then do down. Like that, I will literally have to be like, okay, up, down, okay, like what does triangle do? Oh, it's block. Okay, like stuff like that. Like I legit, because I want to see how this is gonna play out. But yeah, and it's a PS4 game, so. But yeah, so. Yeah, this was way more of the human stuff, and I kind of understood going into the show that yes, it's gonna focus way more on the humans, and like that's fine because this is kind of building out the world a little bit more. But I definitely want to see where this is gonna go. Even then, like the graphics on the Titans, which is what I was very much concerned about. Because I was concerned that some of the Titans weren't going to look good. Kentaro. I was kind of worried that they weren't going to look good. But no, the Frostmark looks amazing. Like, it's freaky as shit. But that's just how a regular mole looks. But, it's very interesting. And I love the Monsterverse designs. It is actually a really good one. And honestly, I do like... And here's the thing too, like, because I will say this, there is a problem with Skull Island, at least for me, that I kind of have, where, and I say that in the sense of just not in general, but like, I guess maybe it just shows like maybe the Frostmark is its own different thing. Like certain monsters there, like the giant dog and stuff like that in the Kong Skull Island anime, like the giant dog is cool, don't get me wrong, but also it's a giant dog, and that's kind of just it. It needed. I think maybe if it had a breath weapon or another special ability, I don't think it did have an ability. Like maybe it would have been better to make a super bark or something like that. I feel like they need more special things. A lot of the monsters on Skull Island are just kind of just giant creatures that just want to eat you, and that's it. A lot of the times, And, like, I get that, but also, like, they need that silly factor. They need, like, a power or something to make them stand out way more. Skullcrawlers are honestly pretty cool, too, but, like, they didn't even have a special ability, I don't think. Kong's, it's funny, on Skull Island, I think, are some of the more weaker Titans. Like, legitimately, they kind of are. Or those monsters, but then again, it also makes sense that, like, the entire islands, I have no idea. But in any case... Frostmark, the graphics on this look great. I can't wait to see what happens next. I gotta wait an entire week now. But Kurt Russell is awesome, and Kurt Russell, I always does feel like he is hiding something, and he always does also feel like he does not care. Not that he doesn't care, like, the acting wise, but like he definitely has like a charm to him, but also the idea of like maybe you shouldn't trust him fully, and I kind of like that. There is something going on with him. I want to see what's in. And like May sure says, if you need to leave his ass, run and survive, Kate. But yeah, this show's pretty great. This show's pretty good. Yeah, sure, not sure what else to add here. Hopefully, I want to see more of this coming because I'm loving like all the kaiju stuff we're getting. So this is just freaking great. But tell me what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Share videos I've done. Links are on my face. Subscribe to my list. Share videos. Hope you enjoy this, and we will see you later. God, this is honestly a really this is not a bad design. Which that's the cool thing. Like a lot of the other Titans, it's just like, like it's funny. Like this is probably one of the better like designs. It's probably because again, it has the silly factor, it has the frost eating, heat for eating. I'm like, yes, that's awesome.